You know, we all know that one person. The one who just can't seem to help but question everything. They're always challenging the rules, poking holes in systems, and asking that one simple question, why? Well, in this explainer, we're going to dig into the actual science behind that impulse. And that leads to the big question, right? Are these people just difficult? Are they troublemakers by nature? Or is there something else going on entirely? Maybe something, I don't know, kind of brilliant? Let's unpack the myth versus the reality here. All right, let's start with what we think we know, the troublemaker myth. I bet you can picture someone right now, maybe at work, maybe in your family, maybe you're even looking in the mirror, who just cannot accept things at face value. It really feels like it's just part of their DNA, doesn't it? The instructions are perfectly clear, everyone else is already on board, but they're the one with their hand up asking, yeah, but why are we doing it this way? It can be super frustrating, it slows things down, and it often gets them a reputation. But what if that's not the whole story?
See, this isn't about some character flaw or just being defiant for the fun of it. The research points to something way deeper, a very specific cognitive process. It's really about having a different kind of brain.
Okay, so the technical term is independent cognitive processing. A mouthful, I know, but think of it like a built-in firewall against just blindly believing things. For someone with this trait, their brain literally puts up this cognitive wall. It stops them from accepting a rule until they've completely processed the logic behind it and confirmed for themselves that, yeah, it actually makes sense.
And what's really fascinating is that studies show this trait isn't random at all. It's often linked to higher intelligence. So that need to question things, it's not a sign of being difficult. It's actually a sign of a highly active, analytical mind that conforms less because it's just too busy thinking more.
So how does this actually work in someone's head? Let's pop the hood and deconstruct the thought process of an independent thinker when they bump into a new rule.
It's not chaos, it's a very structured sequence of events. So first, step one, they encounter the rule. Instantly, their brain jumps to step two, analyzing the logic behind it. They're not just hearing the rule, they're trying to reverse engineer it. Then comes step three, the assessment. Is this rule valid? Is it consistent? Does it actually do what it's supposed to do? And is it efficient? And only after all that mental work do they get to step four, where they decide, do I accept this? Do I question it? Or, and this is the big one, do I suggest a better way?
This really gets to the core of it all. That phrase, because I said so, or, that's just how we've always done it. That just doesn't compute. For an independent thinker, that's not an answer. It's a giant red flag, a puzzle that their brain is now absolutely compelled to solve.
Now, of course, you can probably see where this is all going. This cognitive style is basically guaranteed to create some friction, especially when it runs up against environments that demand compliance above all else. We're talking traditional schools, massive bureaucracies, or really strict corporate hierarchies. And that friction happens because the two sides are basically playing completely different games with different rule books. You've got the independent thinker who's focused on understanding logic so they can make things better. And then you have the rigid system, which is focused on enforcing rules to keep everything uniform. Their goals are just fundamentally at odds with each other.
So what you're seeing isn't a personal battle. It's not a clash of wills. It's a clash of operating systems. One person's brain is running a logic check program, constantly scanning for bugs and inefficiencies. The other system is running a compliance program, designed for pure predictability. Their base code is just incompatible.
But here's the thing. This friction, this clash, it isn't just a problem. It can be an incredibly powerful source of energy. This is the moment where the person once labeled a troublemaker reveals their true value. This is what we call the innovator's edge. And the payoff here is huge. Because they're constantly analyzing systems, they are way more adaptable. They're natural-born problem solvers who spot the tiny flaws everyone else has learned to ignore. They are the ones who drive real innovation. And maybe, just maybe, the most important thing is they act like an immune system for any group, protecting it from the very real dangers of groupthink. So, let's circle all the way back to our original question, but now with a totally new perspective. The next time you feel that little urge inside you to ask why, or you see somebody else do it, just pause for a second and think about what's really happening. Is it about making trouble? Or could it be the very first step toward making progress? That's the real question.